Sure. Sunbeam School, I think, was a good thing, and I think it was a bad thing. It was a good thing because we had some severely disabled youngsters who had a chance at education who might otherwise have not had that opportunity because the public schools were not geared to take care of these children. It was a one floor school. Nobody was discriminated against because of their disability, because we were all disabled. I remember our teachers saying that this isn't the case today. They do today take developmentally disabled youngsters, mentally retarded youngsters. In those days, they didn't. And I remember teachers telling us that all the children in this school are disabled, but they're not retarded. This is a school that has standards just like any other school and so forth, and we're preparing you as best we can. Although there was some holdup, some kids were getting algebra in the ninth grade, and I never got algebra until I got to high school and things like that. But I was talking to Donna Welsh, who at that time was principal of Sunbeam, and I told her this gig about the miracle baby, one day being handicapped, the next day not. And I talked about, when I left Sunbeam, I didn't know what a locker was. Where you put your books, where you put your clothes on, because they don't have lockers there. We used to report to our classroom, and they had cloakrooms, and so you hung your jacket up in a cloakroom, and you carried your books, and you didn't change classes till near the end of my history with Sunbeam. We'd go to one class, and we'd stay there, and the teachers would rotate and come to us. And Donna said to me after I had gone through this long tirade, do you think maybe in some ways Sunbeam prepared you to meet the things you'd have to meet when you got to high school? And I had to give her a bone. I said, yeah, probably so. I said, sure. It helped. And, I had some good teachers, and I did. I think my inspiration for wanting to be educated, my love of literature came from my teacher there, Miss Sidley. God, when I got in her class, I thought I would die because she had a reputation for being a bear, and I had a reputation for being a troublemaker. And I thought, this is not going to work out. I can see it coming now. And she saw the good in me and just took it and started to mold it, whatever good there was, and just gave me a love for literature and a love for learning. And if anybody ever influenced my education, I'd have to say it was she. She really was, I think, a nice lady. And I had clashes with other teachers and stuff like that. But to get back to the subject, it was those kinds of things. So when I got ready to graduate, naturally I was very tenuous. My sister had gone to John Adams, which is where I was going to go, and my friend up the street was still going to John Adams. And they sat me down and talked to me about what I could expect. There was an elevator in the business, so you have to go to the office and get an elevator pass. And should we use a lock with a key, or should we use a lock with a combination on it? And well, maybe we had a combination because if you drop the key, you can't pick it up. But if you have a combination, chances are you won't drop your lock as quickly as you drop your key trying to hold your books, and this and that. And try to figure your classes so that you take books for 2 classes instead of going back to your locker and get more books. So they did those kinds of things with me to help me to understand what I had to do. But the morning I walked in there, I didn't know anybody. Now most of the kids that came in to that freshman class had friends from the junior high schools they went to. We had no junior high school. We went from kindergarten to 9th grade at Sunbeam. All right? And so then we went right into high school, those of us who were able to. Many of the kids' educations ended at 9th grade. I was lucky. I could climb the steps to get into the building. I couldn't go up and down the flights, but when the elevator wasn't working, I was able to make it. But there were youngsters who were in wheelchairs, and they couldn't even get inside the building, so they never went on to public school. All right, and some of the schools in their districts didn't have elevators, so what good did it do you to go?